Hello, Susan Zink here again, and this is the last of the videos that we're doing in our Mother's Day Week series. And as you've noticed, if you've seen any of the other ones, a big theme here is no mom guilt. Now, how is that going to work? Because obviously, with the other main themes in the videos, how to set appropriate boundaries, how to not just mother from your wounds or your history when it wasn't working for you, those things obviously are about making changes in your parenting. They're about doing your mothering in a different way. So how do you do that and reject mom guilt altogether? Well, there's a couple of things to know. First, there is no way you can do better by your children if you're in guilt. Let's think about it for a minute. Let's think about when you actually do mom guilt, assuming that you fall into that occasionally. It's probably not when your child's right in front of you. When your child's right in front of you, you're engaged, whether it is with something that may not be completely what you would like it to be or not, your focus is there. Your focus is on what does this little being in front of me need? When does the mom guilt happen? The mom guilt happens when your child's in bed. The mom guilt happens when you're driving to school and you know you're going to be 5 minutes late and you're wondering whether or not your child's going to be upset because you're not the first mother there. That's when this problem comes up. So how do we deal with that? Well, one of the first things that I'm going to say to you is this is really important. If you indulge in this, it's going to work against you in being there for your children the way that you want to. So this is important. It's something that you owe it to yourself to deal with as well as your children. And one of the things that I say is the opposite of mom guilt is being engaged. Being engaged with yourself, being engaged with your child. Because that's when you're happiest, and that's when it's most likely that your child is going to get your best. So when we talk about the whole mom guilt thing, this is going off into your story. And that's never helpful to go off into your story. So what do you do instead? One of the things you can do is to specifically decide you're going to look at how to do things better. You're not going to look at what you did poorly in the past, because that's the root to mom guilt. You're going to look at how you can do things better in the future. And I'm going to give you 3 very specific pathways to do that. And the first one is exactly that. I'm kind of building an acronym, and I'm only going to give you the first part of it in this video. So you're going to have to wait for some next week to get the rest of it. But the first 2 pieces are notice what's not working and be open to doing it differently. That's the way into something better and away from the mom guilt. So that's the first part. And yes, those are the first 2 letters of no. Notice what's going on and be open to something new. The second part is you can't do this by yourself, most likely. Now, I don't mean that you have to go into some program or buy books or anything else like that. You need support. You need support from people who are having the same approach, from other moms who are saying, hey, we're not going to do the guilt thing. We know that doesn't serve us. We know that doesn't serve our children, and we're just not going to go there. And if you start to go there, we're going to pull you out, and we're going to get you back on the track to being a happier mom, to enjoying your children more, and to being who you want to be for them. And that's the third piece that I want to give you in here. If you're not happy, your children are not going to be happy. That is one of the most important things for you to show up for them. And for that matter, to show up for your partner, your other family members. If you are a happy person, if you are resting and enjoying being with those people, that is one of the most important things you can do. And I'll tell you, you can't focus on enjoying them and do guilt at the same time. So that is one of those ways that's a way out, but it's also a way to recognize why this isn't going to serve anybody and why there's a reason you need to go beyond that. So in the things that we're going to be sharing next week, we will talk a little bit about how you do that. How do you put together that support system that keeps you moving toward the things you want to do with your children and keeps you out of the mom guilt? This is the last piece that we're going to do for Mother's Day week. And starting next week, we're going to be opening up some new ways for you to do the no mom guilt thing, to be more the mom that you want to be with your children. And I'll share with you at that time some of the things that you can do with us to have that work with you. Right now, if you like this page, that'll make sure that you get the notice of those things that we're doing. And there are some other options on that page if you want to do some other things with us right away.